Welcome back to Movie Moshow. Today we are going to review the psychological thriller, Fractured. If you like our content, don't forget to like and subscribe. We post multiple times daily. Spoilers ahead. After spending Thanksgiving with Joanne's parents, Ray Monroe is making his way home with his wife Joanne and their daughter Piri. Joanne and Ray have a disagreement over how their marriage is doing. When the batteries on Piri's music player in the car run out, Ray offers to buy some for her at the next gas station. They stop at a petrol station for a break after Piri announces that she needs to use the restroom shortly. Ray skips the batteries since the cashier informs him that they only accept cash, but he does purchase 2 miniature bottles of booze in addition to a Coke for Joanne and a coffee for himself. He tells Joanne the store didn't have batteries after going back to the car in a lie. Ray investigates the rear seat while Joanne checks the restroom for Piri's pocket mirror. Because of a balloon stuck on a rebar, Piri begins to stray into a vacant construction site while Ray is preoccupied. She begins to retreat toward an open pit as a stray dog threatens her. Piri falls into the hole when Ray throws a rock to startle the dog. As Ray tries to grab her, he too falls in and smashes his head. He turns back in a fog to find Joanne in anxiety inspecting Piri for wounds after climbing down. Once he has his bearings, he takes Piri up and resolves to take her to the hospital they passed a few kilometers earlier to have her damaged arm examined. The couple is asked if they would be willing for Piri to be added to the organ donor list during the admittance process, but they choose not to. A doctor examines Piri and notes that her arm is fractured. He also requests that she have a CAT scan in case she has suffered a head injury. Ray nods off in the waiting area as Joanne follows her to the scanning facility in the basement. Ray is told by the hospital officials that they have no record of his wife and daughter when he requests to visit them after waking up many hours later. The sole nurse who is still there reports that Ray arrived alone and received treatment for a head wound. Most of the doctors have switched shifts. After being administered a sedative and being detained by security, Ray is put in a room after becoming distressed. He runs away and waves down 2 policemen, who consent to look into it. There is more proof that Ray's family was never at the hospital. Police officers and a psychiatrist from the hospital both transport him to the petrol station. Additionally, it is discovered that Ray was a sober alcoholic who 8 years prior had caused a vehicle accident in which his first wife, Abby, and their unborn child perished. They seek to arrest Ray on suspicion that he killed his wife and children after discovering a significant bloodstain in the pit. Before heading back to the hospital, he snatches an officer's revolver and locks everyone inside the petrol station. After fatally strangling a security guard, he enters the basement where he discovers Piri preparing to have her organs removed. He carries her and a sedated Joanne out of the operating room before shooting a doctor as they leave. The fact that his family perished in the pit, Piri from her fall, and Joanne from Ray pushing her and her head hitting a sticking out rebar, is disclosed as they leave. The hospital visit was the result of Ray's mentality attempting to ignore the truth of what had transpired, even though their bodies had been in the trunk of the car the entire time. A critically ill patient Ray removed from surgery is comatose in the back seat. Thank you for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe.